The summer monsoon in India is a time of life-giving rain. But in June 2013, the rains turned destructive. Uttarakhand, a state in North India, experienced rainfall unlike any seen before. On 16th June, the situation turned catastrophic. This day will forever be etched in the memory of Uttarakhand as the day the floods hit. The monsoon arrived early that year. It also brought far more rain than usual. The steep mountains of Uttarakhand usually absorb the monsoon rains, but this time the earth could not cope. The excessive rain could not be absorbed by the ground, already saturated from previous showers. The heavy rains triggered landslides. These landslides blocked rivers and streams. The water had nowhere to go. It built up behind these natural dams, creating a dangerous situation. The pressure grew until the dams broke, unleashing torrents of water onto the valleys below. The rivers of Uttarakhand, usually calm and serene, turned into raging monsters. The Alaknanda, the Bhagirathi, the Mandakini, and their tributaries overflowed. They surged through towns and villages, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The deluge was not confined to Uttarakhand alone. The overflowing rivers carried their fury downstream, affecting neighboring states like Uttar Pradesh and Haryana. The Yamuna River, a major tributary of the Ganges, reached record levels, flooding parts of Delhi. The floods and landslides claimed thousands of lives. The official death toll stood at over 5,700, but many remain missing to this day. The Kedarnath Valley, a major pilgrimage site, was among the worst hit areas. Local resident, the rivers, they just rose so quickly. One moment we thought it was just heavy rain, and the next, our homes were being swept away. It was terrifying. We lost everything. The scale of destruction was immense. Entire villages were washed away, leaving behind a trail of debris and despair. Houses, roads, bridges, all were swallowed by the angry waters. Communication lines were cut off, plunging the affected areas into darkness and isolation. The floods left tens of thousands stranded. Pilgrims on their way to religious sites were caught unaware. Tourists seeking respite from the summer heat found themselves trapped in a nightmare. The world watched in horror as images of the devastation emerged. The floods had a crippling effect on the state's infrastructure. Roads were washed away, bridges collapsed, and power lines snapped. The Kedarnath Shrine, a revered Hindu temple, suffered significant damage. The floods also dealt a severe blow to the state's tourism industry, a major source of income for many. Tourists, we were there to enjoy the beauty of the mountains, but it turned into a nightmare. We were stranded with no way to contact our families. It was honestly the scariest experience of my life. Section 4, a unified rescue. As the magnitude of the disaster unfolded, a massive rescue operation swung into action. Rescue worker. The Indian Army and the Indian Air Force, with their helicopters and skilled personnel, played a pivotal role in rescuing those stranded. They braved challenging weather and treacherous terrain to airlift people to safety and deliver essential supplies. The National Disaster Response Force, or NDRF, was deployed to assist with rescue and relief efforts. Local communities also rallied together, offering food, shelter, and support to those affected. Rescue worker. The nation and the world watched as stories of courage, resilience, and compassion emerged from the disaster zone. The rescue operations continued for weeks, with every passing day bringing new challenges and glimmers of hope. The world witnessed the indomitable spirit of the human will to survive and the unwavering commitment of those who risked their lives to save others. Section 5. Recovering and rebuilding. The 2013 Uttarakhand floods were a stark reminder of nature's fury and the importance of respecting its power. The road to recovery was long and arduous. Government officials, the state government, with the support of the central government and aid agencies, worked tirelessly to rebuild infrastructure, rehabilitate affected communities, and revive the state's economy. The disaster highlighted the importance of disaster preparedness and the need for robust early warning systems. It underscored the urgency of sustainable development practices and the need to protect the fragile Himalayan ecosystem. The flood served as a wake-up call, prompting a reassessment of development policies and environmental regulations. Government official. In the aftermath of the disaster, there was a renewed focus on environmental conservation and responsible tourism. The tragedy served as a reminder that development must go hand in hand with environmental sustainability to prevent such calamities in the future. Section 6. Lessons etched in water. The 2013 Uttarakhand floods were a tragedy of immense proportions. They left behind a trail of devastation, loss, and heartbreak. But they also taught us valuable lessons about disaster preparedness, environmental conservation, and the importance of human compassion. Weather expert. The disaster highlighted the need for a multi-pronged approach to disaster management. This includes strengthening early warning systems, improving infrastructure, and raising public awareness about disaster preparedness. It also emphasized the importance of sustainable development practices and the need to protect the fragile Himalayan ecosystem from the impacts of climate change. The resilience of the human spirit shone through in the face of adversity. The tragedy brought people together, fostering a sense of unity and shared responsibility. It served as a stark reminder that we are all interconnected and that our actions have consequences.